Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Mr. J's Geek Corner. Place we talk about anything and everything that is geek, whether it be TV, comics, movies, and video games. And this week, I'm going to discuss something that's not particularly, it's kind of geek related, and yet it's not, and that's common courtesy and that's some common courtesy. And the reason I bring this up because end of last year, as y'all remember, my end of the year show, I really raked Diamond Direct distributors over the coals for its. I said my local comic store wasn't getting its shipments in, and they said make it, and they were saying that they won't send in their shipments like they were supposed to, and all that stuff. And I really got angry and kind of raked Diamond Direct over the coals a little bit, and well, I kind of want to take this video to say to anybody that knows, anybody that works Diamond Direct, anybody that Diamond Direct watches this show, I am deeply and truly sorry for what I said. The reason I apologize is because, come to find out, I didn't have all the facts straight. Turns out there was some other stuff going on that didn't have nothing to do with Diamond Direct, and it kind of did, but they had. Turns out they did have reasons for doing what they did, because other things were going on with said comic store that I didn't know about. That a lot of people, I'm gonna say, didn't know about. And turns out now said comic store has gone out of business. I'm not gonna go into details because, well, I'm just not going to go into details about it. I'm kind of peeved about it because of the fact that there's a lot of folks out there that didn't know any of this was going on. That what led to this store closing, the stuff that was going on, that led to the stores closing and going out of business and everything. Nobody knew. There's a lot of folks that didn't. I guarantee you didn't know, and there's a lot that probably did, but I just want to take time to say to Diamond Direct, I'm deeply and truly sorry for what I said, for making that video and saying what I said, because I don't usually apologize for shows, but I'm going to apologize for that because I really didn't have all the facts. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why. And I just thought some of the ones just made it sound like that it was Diamond Direct's fault. And really, it wasn't Diamond Direct's fault. It was other things going on, and they were just pointing the finger of blame at Diamond Direct, which made me angry and caused me to go on a tirade that I really shouldn't. It was, might as well say, unfounded, and I just want to say, I am sorry. I am deeply and truly sorry about all this. And that leads me into my subject today, common courtesy. And as I said before, this same comic store that all this happened with is now out of business. And there's a lot of folks who have been waiting and waiting. I'm going to say it, like me, who have waited around since October of last year to get the comics they subscribe to in. They want, like me, wanted Smallville. I had Smallville being pulled. There's a lot of other folks had comics being pulled and everything. And since October or November of last year, they hadn't even got any stuff in. And I went back for 2 months trying to get my comics and everything. And then they point the finger blame at Diamond Direct. Well, come to find out there were other things going on that they didn't tell anybody about. Of course, they probably had the personal reasons for it. But they could have at least told somebody that they won't ever going to get their comics in, and they told folks, and they could have called the people, they could have called subscribers, and told them that we ain't going to be able to get no more things in, and we ain't going to be able to get no more of their subscriptions in and everything, and we're going to cancel your subscription because we ain't got it. I said, whatever. They could have called people, you know. There's a lot of folks out there that genuinely didn't know what happened, and there's a lot of folks that did, probably. But folks like me that were not in the loop And a lot of other folks that were not in the loop that go by there every now and again and go in there and get comics that were held for them and everything and buy them and everything. They could have told them. They had their phone numbers. Anybody that had a subscription there had a phone number. But they could have said something. They could have said something to them. They could have had the common decency and courtesy to call their customers, longtime customers like me, and told them that they're kind of in some dire straits, and that their stuff ain't gonna be able to come in like it's supposed to, and just basically either get what you have or just come in and cancel your subscription. I said they could have done it. Either said your subscription's going to be canceled due to we can't get our shipments in, or come in and get whatever you want. And so come in and get whatever you have. If you don't have anything, then well, it's just going to be canceled. Instead, they went all shady about it, and they stayed all undercover, shady, not telling anybody, just all cloak and dagger about it. And they didn't tell anybody what was going on. Only handfuls of people probably knew what was really going on there. I didn't find out till afterward, but like I said, I'm not going to go into that deepest, most intimate details of what happened. But I said there's a lot of stuff going on. Come to find out, and I said instead of telling people that we're not that we're not going to be able to afford to keep carrying comics. Instead, they were all cloak and dagger about it and blamed and basically pinned everything on Diamond Direct for not sending them their stuff like they're supposed to. Basically, they point the finger, blame it them, and make them mad, and that make instead of bringing the heat down on themselves or making people sad and not coming in the store like there was anybody ever coming in there anyway. Because of not having any new stuff in there, instead they decide to make people angry at their distributor and point their finger, blaming them, and put the heat on them instead of taking the heat, instead of having the heat on themselves, instead of taking the heat on themselves and put the heat on the distributor. And to me, that is just pure. That's sorry in my opinion. It's sorry to blame somebody else for your problems. I was like, you could have told the people, you could have told the people that had pull lists there that you weren't going to, and I said that things weren't going to pick back up, and where is it? No, you had to blame the distributor, and then just sit there for months and months and not get your books in until eventually you just closes the store under other pretenses, and then just let it sit there for about 3 months, closed for about I say for about 2.5 months, closed, not knowing if they'll ever open again, and then suddenly seeing a sign in the door that, well, but I'll just say I'm not going to say what it said, but let's just say a definite sign in the door that all of a sudden all the posters are gone out of the door. Everything looks like it's been emptied out, and they're gone without even so much as a note letting know what happened. And it's just gone. Like I said, I ain't gonna say what the sign in the door says, but I'll just say, like I said, they just let the thing sit there, let the store sit there for months without for months, not even for, like I said, 2.5 months, not even let the store's going open, and then suddenly go by there one day and everything's gone. Everything in the store's gone. There's a sign stuck in the window, and then there's just every sign they ain't coming back. And again, why didn't they tell anybody? I mean, I ain't been hearing months like their email address was not responding, their phone number was like disconnected, stuff like that. I mean, why didn't you tell anybody months in advance that we're kind of in dire straits here? You could have told somebody instead of pinning the blame on Diamond Direct. You know, it's common human courtesy and decency, and it's good customer service. I mean, it's bad to tell your customers that you're not doing that well and that we ain't going to be able to get no new books in, and we don't know if we'll ever get any in. You could have said that. It's hard for anybody to say that and let you know that you ain't doing too good. But to do what they did was just pure sorry. To keep customers that go there constantly to get comics in the dark. To keep customers in the dark like that. It's just pure sorriness, and it's not good customer service. I mean, I'm going to say it almost felt like they let that store die. But I said there were other things going on that I'm not going to go into on this show because that's not my place to. But I'll say it's just sad what happened. And like I said, it's just pure sorry that you don't even let your customers know that you've gone out of business, or I mean, they let you know that as they post this cryptic message that they're saying we're on their page saying we're going to be closed indefinitely, almost giving you a little bit of hope that the place is going to open, but you almost know in the back of your mind they are never going to open that door again for business. I say you can't even muster up the courage to say that to tell customers that you're going out of business, or even have a going out of business sale. Even just go out of it. No, you just drag along, limp along, and then one day just shut the door for until further notice, and then have to find out the hard way and through other sources what really happened, and that the store ain't ever going to open again. And to me, that's just pure sorry, and that's no way to run a business. I said, after finding out what I found out, it ain't no wonder they did something like that. But still, it's shady. It's shady, and it's not any way to treat your customers. And again, I say to Diamond Direct, I am very, very sorry for what I said towards y'all and your company. I am sorry. I didn't have all the facts when I went on that tirade. I was going into that with only with false facts. I was going in there because I went into that tirade fueled on just pure anger. And I'll admit that. As it was more anger than facts. And I'm only getting like a quarter of the story, which turns out to be almost none of it. None of what the real story was going on. And all the other things that was going on, and they were trying to pin the blame on somebody else. And to Diamond Direct again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doing that. I'm sorry for pinning the blame, for getting caught up and pinning the blame on Diamond Direct. I'm sorry. And as I said, that's no way to run a company. You're just making people mad at the company, mad at the distributor, and the company that's distributing stuff to your store. Just because you ain't getting it under other reasons, you're going to blame them like they're just picking on a little guy. And the fact is, if there's other things going on making it where you can't get your stuff, then don't blame the company. Blame yourself, and admit you're wrong and admit the problem, instead of just blaming the company and making people so mad that they'll do what I did and make a angry tirade show about it. And then just to end up hearing the story later and having to go on here and apologize. This is why I'm doing the show today, because I've just found out what the real story of what happened a few months ago with the whole Diamond Direct not supplying that comic store with everything. I found out who's really to blame there, and it wasn't Diamond Direct, and that's why I'm apologizing today. And thank y'all for listening to this. I know this ain't the usual show, but I just felt the need to do this after finding out the facts I found out. And I thank y'all for listening. Hope y'all accept my apologies. And I guess that's all for this edition of Mr. J's Geek Corner. And as always, if you have any comments about the show, drop me a comment in the comment box. Like, subscribe. If y'all have any ideas for things you want to hear me talk about on the show, drop me a comment in the comment box. I'm always looking for fresh new things to talk about. I'm always open to hear your ideas. I would love to hear from y'all. I would love to hear your ideas. And you never know when it may get made into, and you'll never know when it may end up being a future Mr. J's Geek Corner. So drop me a comment. I would love to hear your ideas. I'll see y'all next time.